Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing their season preview and I am doing the Ottawa Senators today. And I have the Ottawa Senators finishing third in the Atlantic Division and making the playoffs. Which is I think it's the only Canadian team in the Atlantic Division. I have two Canadian teams. Yep, I have two Canadian teams making the playoffs in the Atlantic Division. So there you go, Canadian fans. I try my best to put logically who I think is gonna make it based on the rosters. And I had to change my roster because last night Harper got hurt last night, so they called up Shabbat. So I'll get in that a little later. I'm gonna be the first one to say I severely underestimated how good the Senators can play in the playoffs. Last year in the playoffs, they played. I thought they were gonna sweep in the first round against the Bruins. I'm being brutally honest. I just thought that they didn't have a good enough defense. I mean, Erik Carlsson's a stud back there, but I just didn't think it was legit. I'm not even like a legitimate top six, but I just didn't think it was. I don't know. But I'm gonna get into your forwards here. First line, it's a great line in my opinion. Mark Stone, that typical prototypical power forward, good hands, good vision. Last year, 22 goals, 32 assists, 55 points. I think he can get I think he can get 30 goals this year. It'd be cool to see him get 25, 30. He's good in the power play. He could drop the gloves if you need it. He seems like he's a good team guy. Derek Brassard, who was traded a few off seasons ago from Mika Zibanejad to New York. I still like Derek Brassard more than Mika Zibanejad because I think he has more potential offensive upside. And I like the way Brassard played in the playoffs last year. He won me over pretty much. Last year, Brassard 14 goals, 25 assists, 39 points. Now it's not the best numbers, but it's serviceable numbers, and he was good in the power play. He was a good penalty killer. He was good 5-on-5. He seemed like a calming presence there on the first line. And one question I have on the first line: can Bobby Ryan bounce back from the year he had this year? I mean, he dropped off by like 20 points in the year he had before. It's gonna be an interesting storyline to see if we can follow that this year. I mean, he had 13 goals, 12 assists, 25 points. It's alright numbers, but you want better numbers at your first line forward. I think he had like 53 or something the year before, so it'd be nice to see him get back in the 40, maybe score 20 goals this year. I think he's capable of it. He still has the speed. He still has the shot. I just want to see if he can do it. And Zack Smith, he's a gritty player. He goes to dirty areas. He's not afraid to stick up for your team. Last year, 16 goals, 16 assists, 32 points. That's what you're going to expect out of Zack Smith. That's right in the ballpark of what he's going to get. That's great numbers out of him. And then Kyle Turris, still in contract negotiations for next year, but I have every intention to think he's going to stay in Ottawa. It seems like he loves the city. He loves playing with the team. He seems like the team loves him. I mean, he's an assistant captain, alternate captain. It just seems like he's a great fit there in Ottawa. Last year, 27 goals, 28 assists, 55 points. He scored some timely goals in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure he helped score the goals when you guys came back from 3-0 down against New York in that one game when Pajot scored like 4 in a row. So he's just a good playmaking center on that line. And then Ryan Dzingel on the right side last year, 14 goals, 18 assists, 32 points, much like Zack Smith in my opinion. He's not afraid to go dirty areas, and he'll chip, go to the blue paint, and occasionally puck goes in for him. It's a hard-working top six. It's a great top six, and it's top six that can score. I mean, Stone's capable of 20 goals, Brassard's capable of 20, Turris capable of 20, Ryan's capable of 20. There's 4 capable 20 goal scorers in your top 6. That's good. Let's get into your third line. Mike Hoffman, wish I got him higher. I wish I got him higher, but I feel like the chemistry of him and Padgett would just tear it up this year. Last year, Hoffman, 26 goals, 35 assists. I think Hoffman can score 30, 35 this year. I'm curious to see if he's going to have a breakout goal scoring year this year. Last year, 26 goals, 35 assists, 61 points. I like to see him get in the 70, 75 point range this year. And like to see him tear it up in power play. He has a lethal one-timer. I just want to see what he can do in the power play. John Gabriel Padgett. Curious to see. Can he get 20 plus goals this year? Will he break out? I would like to see it. I think he's certainly capable of it. Last year, 12 goals, 21 assists, 33 points. Playing third line, he might tear it up. I think he might have his breakout year this year. And he's playing with Tom Pyatt on the right side, much like Zack Smith. A gritty player, not afraid to go dirty areas, stick up for your team. Last year he had 9 goals, 14 assists, 23 points. He's a good player all around. And then Alex Formenton, I'm pretty sure you say it, in the OHL. He had 16 goals, 18 assists, 34 points. I'm curious to see if he can bring to the team. I heard stuff about when he was drafted. He goes to dirty areas. Seems like he has a decent shot. He has a quick feet. Curious if that can go to the NHL. And then Nate Thompson last year, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points for Anaheim. He's pretty old, 33. He's slow. He's a fourth line forward. He's a good penalty killer. You don't expect much offense out of him. Alex Burrows came to Ottawa. He just didn't seem like he wanted to play in Vancouver anymore, and he came to Ottawa. He played pretty good. 15 goals, 16 assists, 31 points. I'm curious to see if he can carry that success over this year. I think he could easily score 10, 15 again. Dion Phaneuf, he's a good leader back there on the blue line to mentor some of the young prospects back there. And with Erik Carlsson being out, you're going to rely on Dion Phaneuf very heavily and see if he can step up in leadership role. Last year, Phaneuf, 9 goals, 21 assists, 30 points. Great numbers out of him. He also scored some timely goals in the playoffs. Now, how much are they going to miss Erik Carlsson? Erik Carlsson won me over with so much respect last year. He was a warrior, yelling at his players, yelling at the refs in the playoffs. He was playing on one leg and like 1 foot in the playoffs. He's a warrior, and he is the Ottawa Senators. The beat, the heart and soul, he is the heart of the Senators. Hands down. Last year he had 17 goals, 54 assists, 7 points. He is the best defenseman in the league. Brent Burns is basically a forward. And then Mark Borowiecki, I have him playing second line lefty. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. He's the sandpapery, gritty player you need in the playoffs. Not afraid to take a hit. Not afraid to take a hit? No, not afraid to give a hit. Sorry for that. And then he's playing Cody Ceci. I think he can score 5-10 goals this year. Have a breakout maybe in goals this year. Last year, 2 goals, 15 assists, 17 points. Curious to see if he can tear it up. Now with the Harper injury, he was playing third line lefty. And then they called up this morning Thomas Shabbat. In the QMJHL last year, he had 10 goals, 35 assists, 45 points. Now, here's an interesting prospect for Ottawa. If Thomas Shabbat comes in and tears it up, I would leave him in there. Because I'm a big booster of Thomas Shabbat. Ever since I saw him at the World Juniors, now he's playing against kids. But that kid just looks like he's a real deal. He looks like he's going to be a solid, legitimate top 4 player. And I would leave him in there. If Harper's out for a long time and doesn't look like Shabbat's struggling. Sorry. But if Shabbat's struggling, I would send him back down to the AHL and let him play in the AHL. Because AHL time never hurt anyone. And then Chris Weidman, last year, 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points. Played good in the playoffs. He's good 5-on-5, good penalty killer. That's what you can expect out of him. Now, the question in goal. I have faith in Craig Anderson to put up good numbers again. But I don't think he's going to put up the same like elite numbers that he put up last year. Last year, 926 save percentage, 2.28 GA. Now, also part of it is because he had that big momentum story of his wife having cancer and that team story behind him. He had 926 save percentage, 2.28 goals against. I just don't know if he can back that up. I think he still can get 915 plus, and he's gonna have a higher than he can probably see around probably this. I can't speak today. Probably around the same goals against. I think your goaltending is still gonna be solid this year. Don't get me wrong. And then Mike Condon, if he plays 10, 15 games, maybe even 20, he's going to give you a chance to win every single game. Last year, 914 save percentage, 2.50 goals, 2.50 GA. He'll give you a chance to win every game. So I'm excited for Ottawa this year. I'd like to see him make it back to the Final Four. They're one goal away from the Stanley Cup Finals and playing Nashville. That would have been a heck of a Stanley Cup Final to see it. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'm out, guys. Peace. Have a great rest of your day.